again and welcome to Sampson's Judo. Today we're going to do a technique which is called Kata-Gatame Shoulder Hold. Again, a very powerful, very strong hold, and it works very well with lots of transitions which we'll cover later on. But first of all, I'd like to say if you're really enjoying our content and you like watching Sampson's Judo, it would really help our program if you could subscribe. That really helps us a lot. But for now, I'll demonstrate the technique first at different angles, and then I'll break it down and explain how you can do it. Thank you. Okay, so that's demonstrating Kata-Gatame from different angles, which helps you see how effective and also the dynamics of the technique. So, if Uki lies down, so Kata-Gatame is very similar to Kesa-Gatame. So the first thing we need to do is to sit as if we're going to do Kesa-Gatame scaffold, which is covered in the first video. So just sit back with your back towards your opponent, and again concentrating that your hips are inside your opponent's shoulder. Imagine that this hand's going to go around their neck as if we're going to do Kesa-Gatame scaffold. Now Kata-Gatame has come about where I've managed to get this hand around his neck, but I wasn't quick enough to take control of this arm. And what normally happens, Uki uses this hand to push. And this is a good way to learn Kata-Gatame, by allowing Uki to push. And then what we need to do is to push on the arm, elbow, sorry. Do not push anywhere else. Elbow, push his arm in an angle across his face and nose. So I need to gain control of his shoulder. Then what I need to do is drop my body weight down, so my head is between his shoulders. So if he tries to get his hand out, my head is in the way. To secure this gripping, I need to hold with both hands together. And in Judo, we hold like so, especially in Kata-Gatame. Never hold like this. That's very dangerous, because if you get into this habit and he rolled, your fingers will snap, crackle and pop. They'll just break. So it's very important. It's this distance, you hold your hands together with a very nice and strong grip. So your right hand goes around the neck and it's fully extended, trying to keep his head off the ground, make him feel uncomfortable. I could either help myself by pushing his arm, or if he did try to push in the chin, just suddenly resist it, make him know that you're resisting, so the harder he pushes, and then you move backwards and deflect, then you slide down. At this stage or later stage, wide apart, my body's on his shoulder and I'm controlling him in Osakome. My hands come and reach each other and hold tight. Only when this is secure, then we got to bring this right knee, which needs to come up and go just by his shoulder. Now this is very important. A lot of people sometimes put the knee in the wrong place. This has relevance in the pressure points on the hold down. So we don't want to move away from our opponent. We want all the pressure to stay surrounding his neck and shoulder muscles. This is very important. So put your leg just by the shoulder. So this is done just by sliding up and just bringing the knee from here onto the shoulder. So if we got the grip, we got the deflection, we got the security of the shoulder, bring your knee up. Now if you notice my legs are in a straight line, what I need to do, I have a saying which is do the splits. So my right foot's got to come over from here to here. My toes are up, and then I'm going to move very slightly backwards, bringing Uki more onto my arm. Head down, and then hold very tight. With this hold down, there's a little trick that I do as well, is just move your shoulder. So I'm adding a little bit of pressure onto his elbow. From here, just push. This also traps the shoulder and secures it. I need everything I can to be focused on the shoulder, restricting my opponent. Now, Kata-Gatame is one of the few hold downs that if you squeeze hard enough, you could almost get a sangaku, you can get a strangulation and your opponent will tap. So you can actually tap your opponent out. But we want to practice it as a hold down. So we just want to not get a submission. We want to practice securing uki. I want to make sure I can control him. So I'm not going to squeeze to the point where he's going to tap, because I want him to move around to test the control I have on my opponent. So from here, sit nice and comfortable, hand around the neck, there's the deflection, head comes down, hold tight, right knee in, there's the split, there's the move, hold tight, move the shoulder, and if Uki tries to move around, you just move around, I'm controlling him, and then he should not be able to get out if you get a very secure hold down. Again, with all hold downs, they can be done left and right, and we always encourage people, because in competition, in practice, you never choose which way your opponent's going to go. And it's very good understanding how it works on the left, on the right, because our muscles are different. So this is Kata-Gatame Shoulder Hold, very powerful hold down. I'll just demonstrate it one more time, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. One more time. And there you have a very nice Kata-Gatame.